Let's move right along.
All right, so continue on with our budget discussion. I figure since I'm still kind of looking over the items that we identified last week, we could go over the road, fire, and streetlight fund, get those out of the way, and then we also need to talk about the assessor contract, so we can talk about that as well. So, Mark, do you want to talk about roads?
Yeah, last year our total budget was $347,582. Looks like we only used 203,000. So but we're wondering if there's a $100,000 bill for a road that's outstanding. We don't know yet. Even if it is, we're still down by 40 grand. So.
Right. So if we don't want to make any, drastic changes of decreasing the budget this year, I can contact Monroe County to see if there's any pending bills.
The only difference is, so liquid chloride from 45 is going to go to 76,950 because we're doing that new little gig. The mowing is going to stay the same. I did a rough sketch.
Okay, hold on. So what's chloride going to?
76,950. It's chloride and brine.
Yep.
And then mowing stays 10,725. The grading and all that should be, we're guessing right around 193,554 is what I'm coming up with. So it's definitely way less than what we needed. That's $100,000 less than what we needed.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing Sherman Road. Actually, they're doing the bridge on Sherman over 23. They're gonna read. MDOT owns the bridge. We own from the bridge out.
On Sherman?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're gonna tear it all up, re-asphalt it.
No kidding.
That's gonna be wild.
So it's $40,000 to do that, but they're paying $27,000 of it. So it's only gonna cost us 13 grand.
Absolutely, do that all day long.
Yep. So I'm good with that.
How much is it gonna cost?
Our cost gonna be about 13,639. We're doing, these two are gonna be, well, Hickory between Platt and Denison is 59 grand. Cut the berms and lift.
Hickory to Platt. Is how much?
59 grand.
Okay.
And then I guessed at Redmond between Denison and Westfall is 59 grand, but it's gonna be less. I measured it out. I'm waiting for the bids for these two next roads. So that one and then Southwick between Denison and Westfall is 59 grand. The only really issue I got is gonna be with Half Road. I'm thinking we're either gonna do Half Road this year or the other dead end of Petersburg over by the clubhouse, going to the railroad tracks, because we got about 4 residents that live down there.
Yeah.
We did the other side last year.
Right.
We do this side this year, and then maybe we do half next year. So that's kind of up in the air. But that's $2,900.
Oh,
Yeah, because we get 500 tons of free gravel.
yeah. How much did you say the Southwick between Denison and Westfall is?
59 grand. And that's overbidding because
Yeah.
I kind of measured it out, and it's not even much as all of Hickory.
Okay.
So it's gonna be less than that. So our budget's gonna go. We just don't need it. Now it leaves us open if we want to do more ditch mowing or more chloride. Well, hopefully this new chloride trick's gonna be even better. So
Well, and it would be really nice to, eventually maybe when the millage is up, in 4 years, ask maybe for half of what we're, you know what I'm
Or we
saying?
just
Or we
keep-
just keep it and not increase it.
yeah, we just keep rocking forward with it. Like this year, we're spending. The roads alone is 193 grand, and that's $100,000 less than last year.
Yeah, and the millage is 140, say 145.
Right, we're only taking 50 grand out of the budget to do the road job,
Right.
plus the mowing, plus the. So what do you think, Joel? I mean, we're spending money the way we should, right?
Yes, definitely going the way we should go. And we've always had a surplus, so if we use a little bit more, that's great.
I mean, and this,
What about that, the drain that you was working on in front of Grove Stick's house for?
that's why I'm kind of holding off a half, because they just come out and re-surveyed it again. So it looks like now they're gonna dig a ditch on the east side of the road and then follow it right on down and cross tile it and right into the Macon Creek. So I gotta get with Scott on that too.
Yeah, I see some pictures on that this weekend. We need to take care of that little chunk.
Yeah.
Kind of like, Petersburg and Mead Road there. I mean, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Now
That's always been a disaster.
yes, And there's, you know, it's so flat around here, it just takes the stuff, the ditches build up and.
Oh, sure.
And then you gotta have, you know, take care of them.
I mean, I think we're hitting the hell out of the roads. I think we're farther ahead than what we used to be.
And I think the main goal is to fix them and then just maintain them, because it's cheaper to
cheaper.
maintain them than
Yeah.
ditches
Absolutely.
included. I mean,
Right.
that shouldn't have stayed as much of a problem as it has, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, that should have been taken care of a long time ago.
Yeah,
Just because our main population out here is
right.
farmers, so,
You know, you're dealing with clay.
right,
And as soon as if you ever see anybody that kills their ditch, you know.
yes,
Watch their ditch, it just fills up because
Right.
you don't
Washes
have no
out.
vegetation to hold it back.
right,
Yeah,
So if you don't have the vegetation, every time it rains, it goes in the ditch and it fills up with sediment.
yeah.
Then we gotta redip the ditches. You know, what I'm gonna talk to the county about, I got a small concern. They use a spot gravel all over the place, remember? They're
Mhm.
always, they're not hardly spot graveling anymore, so I'm gonna kind of get on them a little bit, like, hey, maybe you need to,
Do they feel like they don't need a spot gravel just because the roads are
yes,
nicer than they
Yeah.
were?
yeah, and I think that's something we need to
You know what I
push
think
them on
they,
a little bit.
you know what I think we should really push them on is the intersections. So like Platte Road right at Cone, coming out, you've got 5
Yeah,
foot
that's bad.
potholes in there.
yeah.
Right.
I mean, they should be coming through and fixing those. The one, Platte Road, the bridge right there by, Hickory. I mean, that should be hit multiple times.
And it's just, you know, people go across it and as soon as the tire hits the dirt,
Correct.
it's, you know,
Right.
and
That's a
you get,
creature
you
wolf.
get the
Yeah.
ditch.
Yeah.
Well, and it's gotten, we'll see how this summer is with the decrease in the trucks, because that's what really caused all the potholes on Platte Road
Right.
between Redmond and,
I got a meeting with the police department next week
Oh, yeah?
over this, because I'm done with the county. They're not helping us with, I've asked, and it's just.
have you
like,
called the state?
They have called the state for us. The state came right out, no problem.
I wonder if we can't just, get a contact at the state to say, hey, what do we need to get somebody out here on a routine basis to just handle the trucks?
Right.
Don't be looking for speeders, you know, regular cars, like, we just want you to focus on the trucks.
And I will tell you that we are gonna have some heavy frost this year.
Yeah.
and-
Yeah.
And the frost always come on, the roads are gonna turn to shit. So
Shit.
Mhm.
get ready for people to call you.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about it.
No.
you know.
Oh, and I think they're tearing up this road this year.
So that's what, another thing I was gonna ask is with how we're looking with the budget, what's it gonna take to fix Cone Road?
Nothing, that's their baby. Don't cost us anything.
But what's it gonna take from us to push them to fix it? Because it's
It's
getting,
scheduled this year.
it is, the
Mhm.
whole road,
Well, not the whole road, but for right now, it's from 23 to Wabash to start. They're gonna widen it.
cause I feel like they do this
That
all
would
the
be
time,
a great thing right
Yes.
there.
Yeah,
It's a little thin right here.
right? My concern has always been from Platte Road to pretty much Petersburg,
And that
how
was the
narrow
original-
it is.
Their original goal was go from Petersburg to US 23, and I'm like, whew, I'd like to get this done first, and then you guys wanna move on, I don't have a problem with that. You know, we got that problem with that bridge, or not the bridge, that, guardrail keeps caving in.
Well, cause I feel like there's a bigger issue underneath.
Yeah, it's eroding, I mean,
It goes back to the clay and
Right.
just so how deep it is and, yeah, I
But
don't
I
know.
mean, I would like to try to get them to be proactive with it to, you know, start looking at how that's gonna get fixed sooner rather than, you know, we start
Right.
getting a sinkhole somewhere
Yeah.
and the road completely collapses. I don't think we're there yet,
I don't
but,
know how Dan's bridge is holding up.
right.
That's,
Oh crap, I didn't even think about that.
yeah. Yeah.
that
And,
was
you know,
dangerous.
I faced it, well, I covered it with about 6, 8 inches of concrete. Wow, God, it's been 15 years ago
Right.
now.
But the sports are starting to fall down, I noticed.
Yeah.
But could you imagine if he goes across his bridge and it collapses, or
Right.
starts crumbling? Because the road is deteriorating?
Yeah.
I guess my thing is just starting to put bugs in their ears to say that this is something that needs to happen within probably the next 5-10 years.
yeah, it's a little thin now, you know?
right?
The only other thing on the roads, and that's gonna be Monroe County bought another grade all, so they got 3 of them. So they're gonna spend a little bit more time with each township, so it's gonna be kind of nice, but they're also gonna start charging too.
Yeah,
They'll do
Which, I
so much
mean,
for maintenance, and then there's gonna be areas where, hey, we need to dig out this 1 mile section, then we cut the berms. gravel
yeah, I
it.
mean, if it's a complete tear out and things that we would cover anyway, you know what I'm saying?
That's why on Half Road, I'm still in the middle of Half in Petersburg. Cause them ditches are clean now. Now we could cut the berm, put our free gravel on, and they'll be set for
right.
20 years.
Well, you've done a phenomenal job in the last 2 years, just catching up on everything, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, we spent a lot of money.
Yeah.
Well, that's it on roads.
Okay.
Fire department.
Well, I mean, do we know what,
And we got another wrench thrown to that too.
so with this budget, so millage is 120, we gave, looks like another 20. So a total of 141 that we approved, we spent 138. What did I say? There was gonna be another 89 that's, I'm gonna be cutting a check this month for
8,900,
1,000,
89,000.
89,000.
Because that stuff hasn't been pulled out in months.
Well, no,
Yeah.
it's for September, October, November, December of fire runs, and then capital costs, and then fiscal year Q1 and 2.
There's 149,000 in the fire budget right now so if you take out 80, you're gonna have, you know, or 90, you still got 100 left.
So this is what confuses me. Oh, never mind, I see it right here. Never mind.
And then there'll be another 120 put back in that, so
Yes, sir.
by the end of, when I'm done with this tax roll, you're gonna put another 120 back into it, so you'll
Right.
have, it'll be 220 roughly.
Okay.
But that's where we need to get. We need to use some sort of treasurer assistant or. I got a little meeting with HVA ambulance service next week.
Okay.
With the mayor. And maybe add a new stall onto the fire department, and have HVA station there. That would eliminate some calls to their fire department, which save us money.
Agreed.
And then, I kind of had a little chat with the mayor on, maybe our new chief is gonna be doing a lot more than what the old one used to.
Sure. Paperwork wise, I mean,
Yeah, like you need to bill these people.
yeah,
Or you dump it in our lap. And
right,
then when you do get the paperwork, it's, God knows if you got the right paperwork. or not.
right.
We don't have any of our fire funds for months. They don't-
Still?
Still,
Do you have, access to the share file?
yeah, it's not in there.
Well, they got a new girl starting.
Mine
there.
just went in this past month for the last 4 months, and the capital and fiscal 1 and 2.
I think that's just confusing.
I agreed.
Did you have to go to the bank and sign on to the fire department fund or no?
Elizabeth, she's
Okay.
the treasurer,
Mhm.
she takes care of that.
Yeah, they went on the same paperwork, 2 different accounts. Which to me doesn't make any sense. Nick was the one who came up with that. What do you call it? You throw the money all in one pot, but you have another sheet of paper that shows where it's really actually going. There's a name for that, not like a balance sheet. Only the fire department will just have one account, but we really need 2. Yeah, this one, one's capital outlay and.
I mean, I guess it just depends on how they do their audits, would be the reason that they would have
Yeah,
to.
that's gonna be really entertaining this year.
So, okay, this is my question for the fire budget though. So it says beginning fund balance was 168, end fund balance is 148, but we've used 168.
I don't know.
So I gotta talk to
You think that's just because everything's so backed up?
it might be, I'll have to talk to the auditor about that, because Joel says we have $149,000 in the fund,
Yeah,
but we shouldn't.
We shouldn't, it should be essentially based on that 0.
Correct. Well, technically it should be about 10 grand because it says we've used 138. Oh, I see. Hold on. So we approved 148. That's the approved. Okay, so activity, we've used 138, so we should have about 30,000 left.
And then when's our appropriations coming, another 120? That should be
When
right.
when he changes the tax roll, so
Yeah,
after
when the tax-
taxes.
Yeah, after taxes come back.
So at the beginning of the fiscal year. So April 1st, probably.
So my goal is to get our new police or fire chief to start billing these, instead of billing us, they need to bill it.
Yeah, but so I guess my thing would be what happens if they don't get paid? Then they'd have to bill us. So they shouldn't be billing us first, but eventually we will get some bills.
Possibility.
Correct.
But what if the money they bring in washes everything away?
Agreed. We just have to make sure if that process goes through, it's seamless to where they're billing the people first and then keeping track of what still needs to be paid so it can get billed back to us. Because there are gonna be ones that don't have insurance, they can't get in touch with them, that somebody's gotta be,
Yeah.
responsible for, and unfortunately, it's still gonna be us. It's still gonna be less than what we're paying now.
Because from what I understand, the city of Milan, like, you're only allowed like 1 or 2
I
fire
think-
runs a month.
Yeah, I think they have a limit of 3.
And then they
Like
start
3
charging.
Yeah, 3 strikes and you're out pretty much.
Right.
So, because it cuts down on people just calling for the,
Right.
the hell of it.
Which I don't think, based on our runs, we really have that issue.
It's
No.
mostly 23.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think more of it for them is just because of like assisted living, retirement,
Agreed.
that kind of
Agreed.
stuff.
And, we do have rescues and stuff here, but I would really like to understand what the point of having the fire and rescue engine go out along with their Explorer.
Well, the only thing I can tell you on that is you don't plan for the least, you plan for the worst.
Sure.
But when you go
Alright.
into a heart attack victim's house, why would you send an engine out?
Right. I could tell you all I know is.
I
that's
could,
what
I
they
could
told
see
me.
sending 2 of the rescue vehicles out,
Yeah,
but not a engine.
Yeah,
Wow.
that kind of blows my mind every time they load up and go, and I'm like, no, in an accident, you gotta send an engine.
Oh, sure, yeah, right, no,
way.
right, but if somebody fell, or, or
they
somebody
they
passed out,
always
they had
send
a
the
heart attack.
army no matter what, what I'm
Yeah.
saying, you
Yeah.
always send it.
But it comes to a point where you gotta be smart about it, like, this is what we're gonna try to do.
You gotta cut the fat somewhere,
Well-
and I would like to see the percentages of when that engine was actually used in those situations.
Right.
Is it
Yeah,
5% that
because-
it's used, is it,
Do you get more money when the more equipment goes out the door? Is that what?
I mean,
they
get
they
billed
charge
for it.
us for
Oh,
that,
yeah.
that engine, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I mean, we get billed and whoever is, the call is being dispatched to for the person, they get billed extra.
Right.
Yeah,
So you're sending it all out. But
But that's
In
also
that
additional
case,
wear and
yeah.
tear, and these things cost millions of dollars to replace.
right.
So it's definitely.
I mean, if they've had to use, say, in a month, they have 10 rescues and they send an engine out every single time. So 10 out of 10 times they're sending an engine with the rescue vehicle. Was the engine necessary or used?
Well,
1 out of
so-
10 times, 5 out of 10 times?
Yeah,
Right.
what's the,
What is the purpose except for sending the army? Is there a separate apparatus we could send out that may cost a little less?
And put it on
Right.
that truck, on a rescue truck.
Right,
well, broken legs or, fallen victims, you should have, you
bodies,
shouldn't need the whole 9 yards, right?
correct.
mhm.
But I can understand needing additional hands,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? But do we need to send that large of a vehicle out? Or could we have 2 explore, the
Or some, if
Suburbans or whatever it is,
HVA goes on an agreement with us, and they blew another building on the fire department.
send the rescue and take HVA with you.
Yeah,
That, they usually show up anyway,
Correct.
right.
so.
So we're gonna work on that. That's 10 o'clock Monday if you wanna go to that.
I will see what my budget, I, schedule looks like,
Okay.
thank you.
So
So what are we thinking, like, so Joel, so this was my question. So you say that there's 149,
194 in the.
194. So, but according to this, our activity was 138.
Mhm.
It says the ending balance is 30,000.
All I know is what's in there.
I
I'd have
know.
to look to see.
you're gonna pull in files, that doesn't make any sense at
Cause
all.
I mean, whenever I do any of the bills, it's coming out of this shortcut or this,
You're taking
phone
right out of
number,
that.
yeah.
I like to think I'm pretty good at math and that doesn't
Yeah, the math is not math.
happen.
Right.
So I'm gonna call the auditor,
Just saying.
to say, hey, can we take a look at this when we do the audit? To make sure things are getting moved around appropriately,
Yeah, cause either there's extra money going in.
or we're not taking it out appropriately somehow.
Right. Yeah, or something's just
Yeah,
not
it could be
being,
not hitting at the right GL number.
right.
It's a possibility.
Right. Right. Street lighting, so we actually changed this to 9,500 for the approved, we did that resolution, so that needs to be updated. So our activity is 9611.
You were awful close.
Awful close.
Yeah.
Do we think we need to increase the budget, keep it at 95, or do we wanna increase it to like 10?
Is your electrical bill, wouldn't you complain the other day about your electrical bill going up? Yeah, so we'll probably, by the end of next year, when we do winter taxes again, I would imagine it's gonna go up another 10%. But we can look, well, we'll look at that when it comes.
Right, so I mean, we could increase the budget for next year to 10 grand and then relook at it when,
Yeah,
middle of the year like we do, and do a resolution if it.
and
needs
if
to-
we're seeing how
yeah.
we're here and doing the budget anyway, yes, probably if you took that right up to 10 grand would be probably
be
a
safe.
great idea.
And we're still within a couple $100, I bet.
Yeah, they don't want you to be under, that's the biggest red flag.
Right.
You don't wanna spend more than you've got. So
Right.
You could even go 10.5
Should we go 10.5, you
and
think?
then we'd be,
I say we go 10, you said it's 96 right now.
96 right now, but,
Go 10, and then next budget, we go another 5.
well, but we usually in the middle, at the end of the year, we usually
Oh,
do
do
a
we?
resolution
it's
to
right
increase it
before I send the
10%.
winter tax out, because that's when we put all the numbers in.
Mm.
Right,
So,
so should we kind of nip that in the bud right now and just do 10.5 now and,
it's not gonna hurt because you're gonna be, I say just go 10.5 and
Okay.
then you're.
I still think we're gonna be within a couple $100.
Right.
Yeah,
I don't see anything going on, and
It's only gonna increase.
if we have to take it down next year, then no problem,
Great,
Right?
love taking things down, hate increasing things.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay,
And then I think the big thing is gonna be Karen's up for renewal.
Karen is up for renewal.
And she
For
sent me
her-
a text of all the other salaries.
What does she want?
So it looks like she wants a 3-year. For the first and second year, she wants 30,000, and the third year, she wants 31,200.
What number is she?
She is 257. She's at 27,000 right now.
She wants to go to 30?
She wants to go to 30 for years 1 and 2, and then 31,200 for third year.
She is probably one of the most important people besides you here,
Agreed.
so she's all.
and you do not wanna lose
So
her.
she sent me all these assessor salaries. London's 39 grand, no assistant.
That's what I was.
Sorry, that was very unprofessional of me. Oh,
I was
gosh.
raising my hand, I wanted to say something because I know
Yeah,
what our assessor makes. And Karen, she's like irreplaceable.
yeah,
Oh,
And she is worth so much more,
yeah.
compared.
So London's making 39.
39, SF, which is, Summerfield is 31,000.
I gotta take this one.
Okay,
Right. 31,680, and the assistant is
Oh, you're right.
15,435. Ida's 34 grand with the assistant at 21,000. Exeter's 27 grand and the assistant's $15 an hour.
yes, Amanda.
I just wanna clarify for London, that 39,000 the assessor pays her own assistant. So
Oh,
the
Yeah.
out of
township is
that,
not paying the assistant.
so that
So
makes sense.
we have no idea what she's paying her assistant,
Right.
but we just know that we
Probably
give the
based
assessor
on
39.
whatever their qualifications
Yeah.
are.
It-
It just is up to her to 1099 them.
Yeah, yep.
That's kind of.
So I just wanted
That is
to
scary.
have that clarified because you read the
Sure.
others and their assistant prices, so
Yeah,
just wanted.
that makes more sense. I'm like, wow, 39,000 is quite the.
Yeah, I'm good with what she wants. I mean, she's more than fair. She
I
does
mean-
more here than what she even supposed to. What's that?
I would say even give her
Extent,
more.
yeah. Anyway, we did what you requested and I'm good with that.
Okay.
Now, you did hear what happened when her last clerk was here with the last raise. She flubbed the paperwork and tried acting like it was already approved for another year and it wasn't. In the minutes even showed it all wrong. I'm like, sorry, Barb. She said, why? She says she makes too much money. Like,
Yeah,
and she got a raise because she was from 25, went to 27. And I said, no, and Karen was like, I don't want any more trouble. I said, no, you're getting it, period. It's end of story, I'm done.
Yeah,
You do more here than you even should, and we appreciate it.
And that's why I think she should get more.
Well, and just, we're gonna,
Okay,
let's do what she wants.
okay.
The only question I got for Karen is her assistant though.
Well, the assistant is,
Hasn't really been, she kind of got this guy, and that's actually when she turns out, she wants this guy to step into her shoes, but he's been
right, so we
busy.
probably should have, right, so we probably should have a conversation, because I haven't paid him at all.
Right. I mean, he's budgeted for. I can't remember what he's budgeted for.
I don't think we put him in here.
I don't think we did either.
I think we might be I think maybe professional services.
Could
We
be.
might, yeah,
Yeah, but
because that's what I do, her assistant, like when, her son was helping out. That's where
Yeah.
I take that out of.
but yeah, that's, and then basically our salaries, my suggestion would be to, let's bring them all to the same amount. And then go a percentage from there.
But what's the same amount?
Whoever's gonna make it the most. Bring everybody up to that level and then go for raises. Because this being all over the boards is ridiculous.
Well, and we need to look at everybody's. I mean, I want to look
I agree.
at the trustees. I want to look at ours. I want to look at what the BOR is making. I want to look at what all of the boards are making. Because $17 an hour to me for a 1 day or 1 hour every 6 months, every 9 months for,
Yeah, you're
It's
better
not
off just
worth
paying
it.
for the meeting.
correct. Give them $150. That's to me,
Well,
you know,
we gotta keep it with a reason, but yes, I.
100%.
That, yeah, just an example.
example, yeah. For a full day, if they're here from 3 to 9. I mean, the PC gets $60 for a 1 hour meeting.
And it could go on for 4 hours.
Good.
Good, yeah.
That's something we definitely need to.
Yeah, because it's just based on per meeting.
Correct.
Do a resolution. That's what we do.
We will, yeah, we just need to figure out what that resolution is gonna look like, because I have a wage resolution already typed up, ready to go with all of our salaries, how they are now. So when we do agree to change them, it's already written up and good to go.
London has separate resolutions for clerk has one, treasurer has one, but we all work the same. But we have a wage resolution for all of the other employees.
Yeah,
You know, that lists every job.
yeah,
Joe, we thought
and that's what
about,
I have currently.
find out between the three of us who has the highest salary and bring all three of us to that level.
I
minimum.
mean, yours is the most at 16.4.
Then you guys need to come up to this and then we'll give ourselves a raise. If you're good with that, or come up with a different idea. Cause
Is there a reason we all have to be the same, or is
I
there?
think we should,
I think
or she might even should be higher. She's got more responsibility than I've got. I work
Look
on
at
roads and ditches,
usually the
man.
clerk does get paid. And again, this is not me, this is the position, right?
Right.
We're not looking at, giving
So
Joel more
here's-
money just because he's Joel. It's the position itself, because
Right.
I'm not always gonna be in this role.
Right.
So whoever's doing these duties needs to be compensated appropriately.
Right, exactly.
So here's what Summerfield did. Supervisor makes 29 grand a year. The clerk makes 28 grand. The treasurer makes 28 grand. The trustees make $3,800.
So we're
Or 10 grand more than 10
Short,
grand
right.
shorter than them.
Yeah, but I mean, Summerfield.
But Summerfield, what's their
is a bigger-
population? Okay,
We're the smallest one out there, I think.
we are.
Either us or Whiteford.
Right.
I'll check with Whiteford, see what they're doing.
Okay.
This gives us an idea where we're at. And I got all the salaries from before when we did this 2 years ago.
And Joel, what I
Where you at?
brought up too is we really need to look at the meeting rates. So like the PC, they get $60 a meeting, but that meeting could be a half hour or it could be 4 hours.
Right.
But then like the BOR gets paid $17 an hour. They're only usually here an hour one day, and then it's that 5 hour, 6 hour meeting. Like, to me, $17 an hour is not worth it.
No.
So
So,
we do 6 with the board review. So they're gonna have, on March 4th, there'll be in a 1 hour meeting, which actually is about 15 minutes. And then the following week, we got our 2 meetings, which are 6 hours per day, 2 days of it. It's $17 an hour, it's 102. If we did 20, it's 120. That ain't too bad. Per day. Because it's 6 hours a day.
right. But I'm just thinking, since it's such a minuscule, should we just even do like a flat rate of $60? No different than PC, but then
Nah,
have like caps of, okay, if they're 4 hours,
Because if
they
you think
get,
about it like that, your one meeting, that's 15 minutes, they're gonna get $60 for. The other two, you're also gonna get 60, so they're gonna be at 180.
it kills me to cut a check for $17 and after taxes, it's $14.53.
Right.
You know, it's not worth the paper it's printed on, and yes, I'm looking at direct deposit. To me, if I was on the BOR, I'd keep the money.
Yeah,
Right.
It's almost an insult. I'm committing my time. Yes, it's only 15 minutes, only an hour. I'm still committing my time. And we wonder why we can't find anybody, and I'm not saying everybody's greedy, but it's not worth it. I mean, $20 anymore is a tissue.
Right.
I wanna get Nick involved in that
There you
conversation.
go. Well, you know.
I agree,
Yeah.
and I just think there's a better way to compensate these people for, you know, taking the time out of their day. Yes, they're retired, or, you know, they got part-time, whatever. You're still taking time out of your day.
Definitely there. And, you know, if you go to McDonald's and make $23 an hour,
In Traverse City, you can, yeah.
you know, yeah.
And you probably get free food.
So, I mean, if you're gonna take the time out and come down here, yeah.
You know, we want more people to be involved. I'm not saying that they need to make a livable wage on it, but
Right.
at least let them go to the bar and get, you know, a hamburger and a couple beers
Yes.
on it, you know?
Right, well, I got something to bring back for discussion, and Pat's gonna get.
By the time you take that $17 check and they run it back to the bank to cash it, they done spent 3 gallons of gas.
100%.
Now
I mean, it just kills
Cost
me
you
every
money.
time it happens. I'm like, this isn't even worth it.
Yeah.
Or if we want to keep it lower, let's ask them if they only want to get paid once a year or every 6 months.
That wouldn't be a bad ordeal.
But again, then they're gonna have to be responsible for getting me their timesheet, because I'm not holding on to that crap.
Right.
Anything else? Think we're
And
good?
there again, your time sheet should just be, you know, in the back room or somewhere where they just pull it out right on there and you leave it right
Agreed.
there. And if you don't put it on there, you don't get paid.
Right. Yeah,
So fill it out.
right. So there's a couple different options. I think we need to,
Yeah.
And
And
I-
even if they're in here, you know, wherever they're having their meetings, you could have a card file wherever, right here.
correct,
And just put it right here so that you don't have to go
agreed.
make it go over there. Just,
Then I also want to look at the trustee salaries too, because now that we have the trustee positions doing more, you know, Shelby is part of the, you know, no different than Olga is part of the fire board, they do get compensated for those meetings, but we're just asking them to be involved a little bit more, so
Right.
increasing their pay a little bit as well.
Summerfield's $3,800 a trustee.
And they are currently, I think 2,500 right now.
I think Nick is.
You guys are both the same.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, 24 a year.
yeah, I was gonna say, I
So
thought.
you only
Nick's
get a
was
couple
more.
$100.
I thought his was more because he's got to do both meetings every month.
No, he gets compensated.
Oh, separately on
Yeah,
those?
no different
Okay.
than you do. You get an extra
Yeah.
$60. when you do the fire board meetings.
which is every other month.
Yeah.
All right.
So
that's good.
even if you like took yours, you know, you're at 16.4, you put roughly 10% on that, it'd be roughly straight 18 grand. And you're still 10 grand cheaper than
Right.
any other township.
Right, I'm gonna find out what Whiteford is, because I think they're more of our size than anything else.
And there again, you know, you don't need to make a killing on here. You don't even need to make a living, but you gotta make it worth your while.
Right.
And if you're killing my time, you know,
And I will say that we spend an extraordinary amount of time down here.
right.
And we've done some,
Because-
jumped on projects too that,
Because when I first got,
oh, you're down here.
well, no, when I first got roped into being on it, it was, oh, you're only down here 2.5 days a week.
Right. And
Oh,
even
fine.
then, you know, I mean, you show that I'm here on Wednesdays, but not really, because people call me, I run
Correct.
down here
100%.
3-4 times a week.
Yeah.
Get your paperwork, you know.
I got end of the month stuff that I have to do for taxes. If it doesn't fall right on a Wednesday that I'm here, I
Yeah,
come in on different days.
I mean, if you put it on an hourly wage on that, it wouldn't be very much.
No,
Right.
plus all the other special projects we end up doing,
Correct.
Right,
the sign out front,
sure, you
the
know,
mailbox.
got no
The
problem
cemetery,
helping, hanging,
yeah.
and
Cemetery.
doing stuff, right? Yeah.
All right, anything else? Any public comment on the computer?
No,
All
I
right.
think so.
Well, I'd like to make a motion, to call the meeting at 12:55 PM.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.